Hi guys, and welcome back to Denise Beauty Corner. The topic of today's video is going to be about neutral palettes, and I have picked like the best seller from 6 different well-known brands. And today I wanted to do this video very comparable, so I chose brands that are in the same price. If you want me to do the same kind of video on drugstore option, I would love to do that as well, or more affordable product. But today I have chosen palettes that are almost the same price range. And what I wanted to talk about is like the neutral palettes. And not all of these 6 palettes are comparable to one another, but why I wanted to do this is because maybe you're out there and you do want to buy one staple palette in your collection that are a little bit more on the neutral side, but maybe have something else in there. So that's why I have chosen these ones. All of these ones are very well loved in my collection. They are not 100% comparable. There are a little bit difference in between them, and I'm going to talk about that. And I am going to talk about which one is my favorite. So let's start about one of the most hyped palettes ever, I think. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And this one, I was a little bit late to the game with this palette. I think you have all seen it. It has a lot of matte, like good basic colors. This one, shimmer one, is to die for. I love it. It's a very good palette. The quality is good. That I can say, like the quality on all these palettes are very good. And like I said in the beginning, all of them are very well loved. So I do use all of them. But I do have one that I prefer over the other ones. This one I do love. I use it a lot. I love the packaging. The only thing though is it's a little heavy, so if you do want to travel with it, it takes up like some space and it's heavy, like a little bit heavier. But I do love it. I have been traveling with it, and I think from all of the the Too Faced in this container ones, I think this one is my favorite. I do have the Bonbon, the pink one with the hearts. I have the peach one, and I do have the semi-sweet chocolate one. I love all 4 of them, but this one is my favorite. I do understand why this one is a bestseller and why it's a staple in so many beauty gurus collections. Yeah, I forgot to say, all of the palettes that I have today are permanent palettes, so none of them are limited edition. So all of them should be available either at Sephora or Ulta or wherever they sell this brand. Maybe I should range these 6 palettes from 1 to 6. The one I like the most and the one I like the least. We will see. Next up we have another super hyped palette, and this is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. This is a little bit different from the other palettes that I do have, because this contain a little more like red toned, and it's more on the matte side. I think it's only 2 shimmers. Yeah, the 2 here are the only 2 shimmers, otherwise all of them are matte. So this is more on the neutral side, even though I would say it's very more on the warm tone side. I do usually prefer like warm toned eyeshadow palettes, but this is very warm tone. First I didn't want to get it because I thought it was so many red tone, but once I got it, I have to say that I do really love it. This is one of my favorite ones out of all of my palettes, and I do really like to use it. One color that I find is very unique for this palette is this like dusty pink color. This one is so beautiful, and I do really love to do like a dusty pink makeup with that one. So this one is very nice palette. It's a little more sleek. It's not as heavy as the Chocolate Bar palette. It's a little lighter, and I think it's a very, very, very good palette, and I do understand why it has been so super hyped. Anastasia first wanted to do this limited edition, but I think because all the hype that it got, they made it permanent, and I'm glad they did. Next up we have another super hyped palette. All of these palettes are very hyped, so. And this is the Kat Von D Shade and Light. And this one is a little bit different from the other palettes that I'm having here. And it's all matte. So all the other ones contain matte and shimmers. This is the only one that has only matte in it. I love this one. I love this palette. This is such a good palette. If I have to choose out of all my only matte palette, this one is the best one. You have warm tone, you have more cooler tone, and you have neutrals here. So in this palette you have everything. I know I'm gonna do makeup on other people. I always bring this palette because I know that I can always do like a good base on this one. What I find though is if you want to do something more than just a matte look, you have to have another shadow with it. So that's the only thing, but I do really love to have like a matte palette, all mattes, that I can have in my collection, so I can just take it with me and then take, like, if I want to use one color or anything, I take just that color and I take this one, and I know that I'm good to go, even if I want to do a cool tone, a neutral, a more warm tone look. I really love this palette. I think it's so worth the hype. Next up we have another hyped palette, and it's the Tartelette in Bloom from Tarte. This palette is also with shimmers and matte, and it's mixed. This one is more on the warm toned palette. You have some cool tones in there, and I would say that this is also a very good and nice palette. You have more darker colors here, and here you have more lighter colors, so it's very easily to orientate on this one. So I would say that this is a very good palette for traveling. You have everything you need in here. You have like all shades you need, you have some shimmers, you have all the matte, you have dark matte, you have crease colors. So I would say that this is a really good palette. I don't tend to use this as often though. I used to use it a lot when I got it, but then I forgot a little bit about it. Still, I do think that this is a really good one, and I think it's really worth the hype. It's also very good like neutral palette. Next we have the Lorac Pro. I have the Lorac Pro 1, this is the one, and I have the Lorac Pro 2. I am more into the Lorac Pro 1 because it contains more warm tone colors. The Lorac 2 is more cool toned. And the Lorac 3 I never got because it's more like rose toned, and I know from experience I bought the Urban Decay Naked 3 palette and I barely never use it because it's so much rose tone, so I didn't get the Lorac Pro 3. I have to say though that I love my Lorac Pro 1. All of the upper row is matte and all in the bottom row are shimmers. And what I like, it's super easy to orientate. You have like lighter ones getting darker, and same here, and you have like a compared, they are like compared, you have the matte and the shimmer, matte and shimmer in like almost the same colors, at least in the same color scheme. You have everything you need. You have the crease colors, the brow bone colors, you have the shimmers, you have some pop of like intense shimmers, you have darker shimmers, you have darker colors, you have a matte black one. I would say you have everything you need in this one. And another thing that I do love, the mirror is big and nice, and the packaging is so sleek. It's like super sleek, barely weight nothing, and it's super easy to travel with. I have been traveling with this baby so many times that I cannot even count them. So this one I think is so worth the hype, and I do really love it. The last palette I wanted to talk about is a MAC palette, and I couldn't do this one without including a MAC palette. This is the MAC Warm Neutral. I do also have the Cool Neutral one, but I do like the Warm Neutral more. I tend to go back and forward between them. Sometimes I am more into the cool one, and at the moment I'm more into the warm tone. You have some mattes here and you have some shimmers. The only thing I wish they had, like, this one is matte and this one is matte. I wish they had like a crease color that was a color in between them. I usually mix these two to like do the first layer of crease color before I go in with this one, because this one tends to be a little tiny bit too dark to go straight in with that one. Otherwise, I think this is a very good palette. I have to say, quality wise, I think the other palettes are a little bit better. I think MAC is still stepping around in the old game and living on a little bit of the reputation that they were the first like good makeup brand, if I can say like that without being rude. And I think they need to step up the game a little bit with the eyeshadows, because I think the eyeshadows, like so many brands have been so good in eyeshadows now. So MAC cannot live on the reputations anymore. They need to redo the formula and be even better. I don't say that MAC is bad. I do really love this palette and I think that it's very good, but I'm saying that I think some other formulas I prefer from other brands. So if I did have to choose to rank this one from a winner until the one that I like the least, I have to address one more time that I do love all of these palettes. If someone forced me to actually choose a winner and to rank them from there, I would actually go the one that I like the least out of these. I still like it, but the one that I like the least is the MAC one. And it's mostly because of the formula. I mean, I still love them, but I think this one is my least favorite out of all of these ones. The second least favorite would be my Tartelette one. And when I got it, I thought that this was going to be my holy grail forever and ever, but I tend to forget a little bit about it. It's still a very good palette. I really love to have it in my collection. I do really love it, but I have to say that this is the number 5 on my ranking here. After that one, I have to say the Too Faced chocolate one, and that's a little heartbreaking because this one was my holy grail for so long. But I still love it, but I have to place it in 4th place. Or 3rd place it will be, because then I have 2 that it's on 2nd place, and I cannot choose between these 2 which one is on 3rd and which one is on 2nd. I have to say that both of these are on 2nd place, so this one ends up in 3rd place, you can say like that. I do really love this one. I've been using this one so much and I cannot choose between these 2. So loved, all of them are, but yeah, they end up in 2nd place, both of them. My winner, if I had to choose a winner, is the Lorac Pro. The reason why the Lorac Pro is the winner out of all of these is, first of all, because it's so sleek, it's so travel friendly. Second of all, the colors. You have everything you need in here. And the only reason why the Modern Renaissance is not the winner is because it's so much red tone, and the reason why the Shade and Light palette is not the winner is because it doesn't contain any shimmers. So I think in both of them, if I'm going on a long trip, I cannot take only one of these palettes, because this one I will need to have some shimmers, and this one maybe I don't want to go for a red tone or like a very neutral tone every day. Maybe I will, I don't know, I feel like it's very much the same in the whole palette. Otherwise, those 2 would be the winners. But this one is the winner because the quality is excellent. I love the Lorac Pro palette quality of their shadows. I have everything I need. I have the matte black, I have the shimmers, I have my inner corner highlights, I have my brow bone highlights, I have the perfect crease colors, I have a little more cold tone, I have the warm tone. I have everything in here. So for me, this palette is everything I need. I have been traveling on trips where I have been away for weeks, and I did only take this palette, and I never thought that I needed anything more. So that is why this one is the winner for me, because of the convenience of having everything in one single palette that take no space at all. That's why I would say that my absolute favorite neutral palette when it comes to travel friendly and yeah, that contains everything, I would say this is the winner for me. This is just my thoughts. So with that being said, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have anything that you want me to review, to talk about here, do a tutorial on, whatever you guys want, just leave the comments in the comment sections down below, and I will have it in mind when I am deciding what I will do next year. I am uploading 1 video every week, so I'm uploading every Monday. And if you haven't already, I would love you to subscribe to my channel so you never miss a beauty tip with me again. And with that being said, I just hope I see you guys in my next video. Bye!